Okay, this video is a little late, but gonna release it anyways. This is gonna be the UFC 301 recap and my thoughts on how all the fights went. Starting with Alessandro, Costa, Kevin Borjas. Actually, I'm kind of gonna skip the entire early prelim card because I actually wasn't there to watch that part. I was busy and I had to take care of some things. But I just want to let you guys know Alessandro Costa, Kevin Borjas, Israel Bonfim versus Vince Pichel, Diane Barbosa versus Ernesta Caracate, Mauricio Ruffi versus Jamie Malarkey, and Joaquim Silva versus Drakkar Klose. I picked the winner for each one of those fights. So Costa, Bonfim, Barbosa, Ruffi, and Klose. 100% correct. So, okay, now moving on to the next fight on the prelim card. Myktybek Orolbai versus Elves Brener. I picked for Myktybek Orolbai to win, and he won. He just did more, as I kind of expected. He was predictable, but Elves Brener just wasn't that good. So, okay, moving on to the fight with Karolina, Kowalkiewicz, and Iasmin Lucindo. So, before the fight started, Karolina Kowalkiewicz was shown leaning against the fence with her arms behind her, and that was the moment I knew she was gonna lose. And she lost. She kind of got beat by Iasmin Lucindo. And of course, this was a decision fight. Iasmin Lucindo just wasn't able to get the knockout for possibly two reasons. One, because she's young and hasn't developed her power yet. And the other reason is probably because Karolina Kowalkiewicz is a strong Polish lady. So, alright. Next one on that card, Joanderson Brito versus Jack Shore. Joanderson Brito won. He very savagely attacked Jack Shore's leg. That was probably one of the hardest leg kicks I've ever seen. And then he proceeded to when they were in a clinch or something, or they're against the fence, Joanderson Brito proceeded to punch Jack Shore's leg, and eventually the refs just stopped the fight, and they were like, yo, that leg's looking fucked up, we gotta stop this now. So yeah. Okay, next fight, Paul Craig and Caio Borralho. I think Caio Borralho got the first round KO on that one. Pretty sure that's what happened. As everyone kind of expected him to, he came in there and was like, yo, my fight IQ is better. It was better indeed. He didn't let Paul Craig get him in those classic ground submissions that we're used to seeing him get with some fighters. It was so funny because he just fell backwards on the ground, and Caio Borralho was like, no, dude. Okay. We move on to... Oh, but before we move on, I just want to say, every single one of these fights, I picked the winner so far still. So that would be Myktybek Orolbai, Iasmin Lucindo, Joanderson Brito, and Caio Borralho. I picked all of those dudes to win, and lady. So yeah. Alright, moving on to the main card. Michel Pereira versus Ihor Potieria. So I knew Michel Pereira would win. I didn't know he would win in such a savage way, in the way that he won. I actually thought he would get a KO, but he decided to do a backflip on Ihor Potieria, which was, I think, apparently illegal. I think without that backflip, he probably would have gotten a KO. I don't know. That was weird. That was the weird, probably one of the weirdest knockouts I've seen. Poor Ihor Potieria. Yeah. Anyhow, okay, moving on. Anthony Smith versus Vitor Petrino. The upset of that week. I thought that Vitor Petrino was gonna win for sure, but he came in and completely disrespected Anthony Smith's skills, or him as a fighter in general, I guess, and just like Anthony Smith had him in some sort of like a lock against the fence, but it wasn't even like a tight hold or anything, and Vitor Petrino just decided to smash him down to the ground, to where Anthony Smith was able to get a tight grip on his neck and ultimately submitted him. So that wasn't supposed to happen, and it only happened because Vitor Petrino foolishly decided that he was gonna lose this fight, I guess. Unfortunately. Alright, next fight, Jonathan Martinez versus Jose Aldo. I initially had Jonathan Martinez picked, and then I remember during the weigh-ins I did a little update. I posted a short saying that Jose Aldo actually looked super focused, and so I'm kind of going to revoke my Jonathan Martinez bet there. So yeah, Jose Aldo won. He was just a little sharper. He looked pretty, I don't know, I think they're like, he must have taken some focus boosting supplement. So yeah, he won. And the last fight, Alexandre Pantoja versus Steve Erceg. And I had Steve Erceg on this one. I thought he was going to come through, and he did actually pretty well. He managed to get out of all those tricky positions that Pantoja had him in on the ground. Pantoja was just a little stronger than him. I think that's the thing. I didn't expect Pantoja to be that much stronger than him, because had they been a little more equal in strength, I think Steve Erceg would have won this fight. But yeah, those were the only three at the end that I got wrong. One by freak accident, one that I was actually kind of iffy on already, and one that just, I don't know. I was hoping Steve Erceg would win, but Alexandre Pantoja finished the job, so. Okay. Yeah, so those are my thoughts on UFC 301. So anyhow, thank you for listening. Thank you for tuning in. If you managed to win big this fight, then I'll leave a little tip jar in the description box, and let me know. Let me know that way. If I, receive your guys' tips, I'll know that I'm doing well and that you're doing well, and yeah, it'll be great for everyone. Okay, see you next time.